Hi, this is Mrs. Micawber and welcome to the Limpet Mitts tutorial. Start with a standard slip knot, forward loop chain 1, yarn over, insert the hook into the back bump without turning your work, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops on the hook. You've just made a half double crochet forward loop picot. Forward loop chain 1 again, make another half double crochet in the back bump, again forward loop chain 1, yarn over, insert the hook into the back bump and make a half double crochet. We're ready to start row 2. Do not turn the work. Chain 1, stop and take a moment to look at your picots. You can see that there's a little hole in between each one. We're going to be stitching into those holes. We have chained 1. The chain 1 does not count as a stitch. Single crochet in the first hole, chain 1, single crochet in the next hole, chain 1. Continue to single crochet in each hole and chain 1 between, all the way to the other end. And here we are at the end of row 2. Make the final single crochet in the hole at the very end. Pull up a long loop, remove the hook. This is the right side of the mitt. Bring both ends together with the right side facing outward. It's time to join the ends so that we can begin to work in the round. With the working yarn up and behind the working loop, insert the hook into the first single crochet of row 2. Pull the working loop through, tighten the loop. This is a slipped slip join. And now chain 2 and we'll be ready to start round 3. We've made our join, we've chained 1, now we're going to make a row of single crochets in the back loop only, all the way around, starting in the same stitch to which you joined. Here we are coming up on the end of our single crochet in the back loop only row. This is round 3, or is it round 4? We'll have to stop and look at the pattern. When we get to the end, we're going to make another slipped slip join. If you have trouble recognizing the first single crochet of the row, you might want to place a stitch marker there. Chain 2, and now we're ready to start the next round. This round will be half double crochet and chain 1, working in the back loop only, starting in the same stitch where you made the join, half double crochet, chain 1, skip a stitch, half double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet in the next stitch, all the way around. And we're at the end of our eyelet round. One more chain 1, skip 1, half double crochet in the back loop of the very final stitch. Make our slipped slip. Remember that the chain 2 at the beginning of the round does not count as a stitch. Chain 2. Our eyelet row is complete and we are ready to start the limpet round. Turn the work. The limpet round is the only round which will be worked on the wrong side. Half double crochet in the first stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, and we're going to attach our limpet in the next stitch. Cast on 5 forward loops. Remember to skip a stitch, insert your hook in the top 2 strands of the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops on the hook, and chain 1 to lock the limpet. Let's do it again. Cast on 5 forward loops, skip a stitch, insert your hook into the top 2 strands of the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops on the hook, and chain 1 to lock the limpet. Let's see what it looks like from the right side. Very pretty. When you're casting on the forward loops to make a limpet, do not pull the yarn too tightly. You want them to be evenly sized, firm, but not too snug. Do not cast on the loops up around the narrow part of your hook, but make sure that they are at the broadest part of the hook. And one more tip when you're working the limpets, because you're stitching into the top of the half double crochets from the previous row, be careful that you don't stitch into the back 2 loops, but you want to tilt the work towards you so that you see the top strands of the half double crochet. And here at the end of the limpet row, we're going to skip 1 stitch and make a half double crochet in the final stitch. Now, because we're working on the wrong side, before we make our slip join, we need to turn the work back to the right side. This time we'll be inserting the hook from back to front in the first stitch of the round, but will be on the right side instead of the left. Pull the loop through, tighten as usual, chain 2, and from now on we'll be working with the right side facing at all times. Ready to start the next round. This will be a round of half double crochets and chain 1s. To start, half double crochet in the first stitch and also in the hole next to the limpet. Chain 1, skip the limpet, and half double crochet in the next hole. Again, chain 1, skip the limpet, half double crochet in the hole, and we will do this all the way around. Well, that round went quickly. Skip the final limpet, half double crochet in the next stitch, and half double crochet in the final stitch. So this round started with 2 half double crochets in a row, and it ended with 2 half double crochets in a row. As usual, we will join to the first half double crochet with a slipped slip, and the next round will be single crochet in the back loop only all the way around, starting in the same stitch. Here we are at the end of the single crochet back loop only round. We're almost done with our cuffs. Alright, the last round of the cuff. This will be half double crochets in the back loop only, starting in the same stitch where you made your join. Alright, coming up to the end of round 8, half double crocheting in the back loop only, and this time we will not do a slipped slip join, we will do a standard slip stitch. This is the last round of the cuff. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week when we finish the rest of the mitt.